So when you're stretching that with, you used a torque wrench to pull the bolt,
To torque the bolt, yeah.
to torque the bolt. And you did it by like 50 on the torque wrench, right?
It was 55.
55. So the torque, whatever you set your torque wrenches on, is how much it stretches a bolt.
Well, the manufacturers of the bolts usually give you a procedure for stretching the fastener, whether it's a straight torque or a torque to an angle. Sometimes they give you say torque it to 15 pounds plus 60 degrees or something like that.
Okay.
So you got to use a different. The torque is just a base number to kind of preset everything, and then the degrees is the actual amount that you're trying to stretch the fastener.
So when you're torquing something, that based on what you set your torque, that's how much you're stretching it, though.
Yeah, they want the bolt to stretch a predetermined amount, so they've already figured out based on the torque number or the degrees they want you to turn the bolt, that should put it at that stretch. You know, if they want it to stretch 6 thousandths, the numbers, that stuff they give you should stretch it to that dimension.
So when you put it on the, I think that it was the head, you torqued it to 100. You're stretching it.
You
How
mean when I
much?
was torquing some heads?
Yeah.
On some of the fasteners, yeah, but those are bigger fasteners.
Okay.
So the bigger the fastener, the harder it is to stretch it. So it takes more torque to stretch it that amount.
Okay. So you weren't stretching it 100th or whatever.
Well, I don't know what. I mean, they gave you that dimension. Say you torque it to 100 foot-pounds.
Okay.
But a lot of the, mainly on the rod bolts is when they give you the stretch numbers.
Okay.
The rest of the fasteners, it's just a predetermined.
Pound.
You know, either torque it to such and such foot-pounds or inch-pounds, or torque it to this and turn it this many degrees, or, I mean, there's different ways to do it.
So torque doesn't necessarily mean stretch.
Well, I mean,
or it does.
It is stretching the bolt when you're doing that.
Okay. But the number you put on your torque wrench isn't how much you're stretching that bolt?
No. That
Okay.
that torque number is kind of a measure of friction.
Okay.
It's kind of, you know, it's measuring force, which is, you know, and there's a lot to all that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.